Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-September 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do we have for Aquarius here in mid-September? We're still in Virgo season at the time of this filming. What's happening? What energies, messages, insights can you pull? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius mid-September, please. Let's get this first card out nice and quick. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. Okay. Starting off with Lady Luck, my friends. And I feel like I saw her for one sign last week, but usually this is an extremely rare card to start off any reading with. And I always get super excited whenever Lady Luck shows up, because even if we have some really rough energies in the tarot portion, this is good. This is real good. And I always see it in comments too. Like usually people get big strokes of luck whenever I started reading with this. Now, before we fully dive in, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So symbolism wise, you could see Lady Luck, you see the slot machine, you see poker chips and cards and dice and four-leaf clovers, a lot of things that either speak to trying your luck or having really fantastic luck. To me, this is very similar to the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot deck. So we're talking Jupiter energy, extremely expansive type of energy. So for a lot of you, there could be a very specific area of your life or what you're focused on that could take a really sudden turn, a good sudden turn in your favor when this shows up. Now, I do also say Lady Luck and the Wheel. This is also universal karmic energy as well. So for some of you, yeah, I might just be speaking about a change you're experiencing. But when I see this, I think of luck being on your side. You might want to play the lotto or try your luck when this shows up. And it's a very claimable way to start off any reading. It really is. Because even if we have the roughest of the rough type of vibes, like this tells me, like, okay, but you're lucky. Like, yeah, that sucks. That energy's not good. But you got Lady Luck on your side. So let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's see what we get for you. Shuffle it up one time here for my beautiful Aquarians. And guys, what do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading, because there were a lot of bumps in the road in last week's reading. It was titled They Are a Mess, and there was a lot of anxious, wound tight, nervous type of energy. We had all the big hitters. We had the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Three of Swords, like all the swords. So hopefully you haven't been going through too many rough things, Aquarius. Now, if that wasn't you, it could have been someone you're connected to going through quite a bit. We're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's go. Let's get these first three cards out for my Aquarians. What is happening? What is going? Nine of Swords. Okay, so I just mentioned it. Did I summon it? I don't know. Well, we'll see how the rest of the reading goes, but I mean, it could just be some hangover from last week's reading. I just wasn't expecting to see it after the whole Lady Luck thing. But let's see. We're still very early on. What do we have? Thank you. Okay, Two of Wands. So maybe the energy is starting to resolve a little bit. The fire-air combination can be a little suspect, but we'll go into that first. I'm cautiously optimistic so far. Let's get a couple more. Thank you. Ten of Wands. Okay. So, and this is something I've been seeing for all the air signs. I mean, even though you're the water bearer, you know, you're an air sign, but with all this fire and air energy, I mean, it could be complementary for you. That's the one thing I can say. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I already mentioned it, like elementally, lots of fire energy. We have some air. And I always say when you mix fire and air, it can be combustible. Now, it can be very good for action, moving something forward, not being stuck. I like fire because there's a lot of motivation, there's a lot of pizzazz, there's a lot of zest to it. But at the same time, it could also be uncontrollable when we mix fire and air. It could be explosive, it's very unpredictable. So I really want to see how this goes, because it's like, yeah, we have some tense energy, we have a little bit of tired energy, but I feel like we're moving in the right direction. So just know, like, certain situations, like even if they're not fully resolved, you might just be moving in the right direction. Let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. So position number one, the Nine of Swords, pretty much encapsulates the reading that we had for you last week. You see this individual, and there is something here about like your own base energy with this card and the Ten of Wands. I'll touch on that in a moment. But when we have the Nine of Swords, you see the person. You don't have to be an expert to know what this card represents. It's stress, it's anxious, it's nervous, it's someone that's extremely wound tight. Okay, so again, that doesn't have to be you. This could just be someone you're connected to, really going through one. I will also say this, maybe some of you are having issues with sleep, so you might need to readjust your sleep schedule. Maybe you're having some funky dreams, really vivid ones when this card shows up. I also link this card to the paranormal. There's mystery involved too. So you see there's like a lot of layers to this Nine of Swords, and it's like wound pretty tight. So we're really going to want to clarify this and see what it represents. Now, when we get to the positive aspect of the Nine of Swords, to me, it represents something that's almost at a conclusion. So if there is a situation that's been stressing you, I mean, it's a 9. It means like, all right, well, it's almost run its course, which is nice. So moving to the center, we have the Two of Wands, which is peculiar in this position. And I've been seeing it for other signs this week too. But you see this individual, they're standing there looking off at the horizon, looking to the distance, looking to the future. I do feel for a lot of you, a lot of the stressors could come from like, all right, well, how's this going to work out? What's going to happen? Like thinking too far ahead could be an issue in this time. Now, all twos could represent partnerships. They could represent decisions, choices, trying to make one. This could represent travel and distance, of course. But to me, the Two of Wands is the biggest card of planning and strategy. So I do feel for a lot of you, whatever situations or things you might be going through, whether good, bad, or indifferent, strategic planning is extremely important. Whether you're doing it or whether you need to, strategic planning. Now, for a portion of you, maybe there's someone you're connected to that is getting a little plan moving. I saw this in the Leo reading, and I think maybe another one this week too. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that I'm seeing all this planning in a lot of different signs. So we'll talk about it. A challenge of the Two of Wands, it could be a little skittish. It could be a little fleeting. It could be a little flaky. Okay, so just we'll see when we clarify it. Now, on to the back end, we have the Ten of Wands. And I find this extra intriguing because, no, this isn't a terrible card. It's just a little burdensome, cumbersome. The Nine of Swords and the Ten of Wands do both link into your energy, like your internal energy, your internal motor. So for some of you, hopefully you're not losing that little oomph that you have. Maybe you just need some rest. Maybe you need some recovery. Because when I see this card, I think of someone's physical vessel and physical vitality. So please make sure you're watching after your health, your mental health, your emotional health, and physical when this card is in the mix. Specifically, areas like the neck, back, and spine. If you're holding a lot of tension there, you might need to get it rubbed out. Now, the Ten of Wands, to me, yes, it's burdensome. It's someone carrying a heavy weight. In its worst case scenario, could represent someone that's feeling a little bit of guilt. But it's also a determined energy. It's a can't stop, won't stop. It's like, yeah, I'm going to keep moving no matter what. So there could be really good energy attached to it of not giving up on something. And the way it's really aligning itself to me, especially like any situations that have been stressing you out, they could be close to running their course. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Aquarius. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Aquarius friends. What's happening? What is going on? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Nine of Swords. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aquarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Nine of Swords time. Nine of Swords. Thank you. Five of Wands. So we're piling on with all this fire type of energy. And I do feel like whoever this is, whether it's you or somebody else, when I see 9 of Swords with the 5 of Wands, this is that racing mind. And I saw it last week. So for some of you, again, this could be someone you're connected to or yourself that has the racing thoughts, the racing mind. Okay, and it's very stressed, anxious, nervous, and it's showing up here. Now, the 5 of Wands is a conflict-based type of card, and it's fiery. Again, it's extremely explosive. So when we mix these elements together, it seems a little out of hand. Like, it just seems like something like it's really difficult to keep a hold on. Watch out for outside influences in this time. That's another thing I want to say with the 5 of Wands. You see those people that are beating the crap out of each other with sticks, and the 9 of Swords, it's like outside conflict could be getting to you. So especially if you are an energetically sensitive individual and there's like things going on in the workplace or in the family or even in your local community, I feel like you kind of being an energy sponge, and even if you're not trying to. So make sure you're protecting your energy here, because I feel like a lot of this tense type of energy is just coming from without. Like, it's not coming from within, it's coming from without. So again, yeah, this is that nervous, wound tight type of energy. We're not going to spend a lot of time here. I feel like it's extremely simple. Let's see how it plays out. Let's just see how it plays out. Again, almost all fire and air, the explosive energy is still in the mix. Let's see what the 2 of Wands has for us. Let's see what the 2 of Wands has, please, guys. Thank you. Okay, 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, another theme I'm starting to see here, Aquarius, is underneath here on the bottom, we have double 5s. And in numerology, 5s are kind of like tower type of energy, where it represents like very fast, rapid change. And that's another thing I'm picking up here. We do have this strong problem-solving energy in the center with the double 5s. Like, intuitively, it is giving me a sense of somebody that's wanting to switch something up quickly. So whether it's like a plan that you're making coming into fruition or a plan that someone else is making, it's like, I got to fix this. I got to fix it now. So there is that oomph to get something moving. But to me, there is that explosive change-based type of energy, especially with the 5s crowning the undercurrent of the energy. Now, generally, the 5 of Pentacles in the upright, it represents loneliness. It could be people that have abandonment issues or feeling like thrown out in the cold. When I see it in reverse, like, it's improvement. It's things getting better. It's reconnecting some sort of energy. So when I see it underneath the 2 of Wands, like the plan-based type of vibe, it's someone saying like, no, like it can't be like this, or I'm not going to deal with this forever. So it could be a situation changing rather quickly. But there's the planning too. So for a portion of you with the 2 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, there is somebody planning something. Okay, let's keep moving over to the 10 of Wands. And then we'll do a quick little recap. Again, I feel like these are coming through very straightforward. They're intense. That's the one thing I will say, because even with that 5 of Pentacles, it's showing up in reverse. The only earthy energy is showing up in reverse, which is more upheaval. So let's see what that 10 of Wands has to say. Let's see. And we'll do our recap before we get into the shadow card. So why's the 10 here? All right, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so here's the happy ending, the prototypical happy ending, the payoff in the end. So that makes things better for me. And I've been saying it since the beginning, like, yeah, I see something almost fully running its course. It totally makes sense to me. So if you've had that wound tight type of energy that I was describing before, or that overthinking type of vibe, it is going to resolve. We have the Empress, the goddess of blessings and abundance. Something will be worth the effort, a situation, or just like the trouble it was worth it, which is another bizarre thing. So let's talk about it a little more. Empress is Taurus energy, Libra, ruled by Venus, represents abundance and blessings straight up. It could be a connection to nature. So for a lot of you, you could have a nice energetic reset by going into nature and spending a little time there. But if that's not the case, when I see her roll into a spread, I think of a win, a victory, or a payoff. So again, with the way the energy is resolving, yeah, we have the change and the plans and all the other stuff I was mentioning. But don't forget, we started the reading with Lady Luck. We're ending it with the Empress. For a lot of you, this is an energy absolutely paying off for you in a massive way. I just have to give the message. Because yeah, we have the challenges, but life is not without challenge. Right? Like, everyone knows there's ebbs and flows in life. There's ups and downs. So 10 of Wands with the Empress, like, to me, that's the payoff right there. So keep your eyes on the prize. For a lot of you, you might need to find a new motivation as well. Like if you feel like you're floating right now in regards to anything, or you feel like you're just drifting in any sort of way, you might need to try to find a new goal or just something to attach your attention and intention. But there's something that's going to pay off, whether you're watching this for like career or romance, you name it. Like this is a hard fought win of some sort. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card because it's a dynamic type of reading. There's a lot of little subnotes of energy. But position number one, we have the Nine of Swords with the Five of Wands. Yeah, I already said that's a wound tight, nervous type of energy. I said watch out for energy from the outside coming in that could be affecting you. So whether it's like workplace stuff, group related, family related, community related, especially if you were an energetically sensitive person, these energies could be a little overwhelming for you in this time. So make sure you protect yourself. Aside from that, I feel like the energy is just rotating real fast, but I feel like that's on its way out. Moving to the center, we have the Two of Wands with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, there's some planning going on here. There's some strategy to try to make something better. At the same time, with all the fire and air and the upheaval of this, it is somebody that wants to make something right or switch something up, and that's going to happen. Okay, so if you're having problems or issues, like that's not a forever thing. The energy is pliable here. It's movable at the very least. On to the back end, we have the Ten of Wands with the beautiful Empress in the upright. Something will be worth the effort, worth the trials. And yeah, this is a huge payoff, a massive payoff of some kind, and a blessing in disguise. So I feel like this is a really lovely way to end off this reading. Another thing I will say about all this, Aquarius, the explosive energy and the intensity of it can be a lot to handle at times. But I just feel like if you feel like you're floating and you're just feeling a lot of intense energy, you need to find a place to focus it, if that makes sense. So yeah, please take a screenshot of that if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. So let's get a good shuffle here for Aquarius, please. Guides. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get it going. One shadow card here for my lovely Aquarians. What is going on? Thank you. Temperance. Okay, so I do feel like that fits in with a lot of the theme of this week's reading. Temperance is Sagittarius type of energy. So if you're connected to a Saggy, they're showing up in the shadows for one reason or another. Their energy still has some sort of connection. But if that's not the case, Temperance usually depicts the Archangel Michael, a huge card of spiritual protection. So some of you might need to hear that little reassurance, like your guide, spirit team, they're protecting you, watching over you. But what is Temperance literally? It's a card of patience. It's a card of patience. It's a card of letting something calm down, let something run its course and take its time. And just like we saw within the reading itself, I feel like something's just about to run its course when this card is here. So I feel like this is nice. Now, I do also say Temperance can sometimes be very frustrating, okay, because it's a slow mover. It's not really doing much. But the one thing about this card is, although something on the surface might seem like nothing's improving, underneath the surface, there's some sort of spiritual alchemy happening. So it's intense, even though it seems like it's not. There might just need to be a little more patience for you, my friends. But yeah, Aquarius, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the September subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the September subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks of all time, the beautiful Wizard's Tarot. It's gorgeous and it works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, where would you like to go for your dream vacation? What are you manifesting? Let me know. Let's bring it to fruition. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again.